Are you accidentally styling or caring for your grey hair in ways that make you look older than you really are? A few small mistakes can age you instantly, but the good news is they're easy to fix once you know what they are. In this video, we're breaking down the biggest grey hair mistakes women over 50 make and how to correct them so your hair looks youthful, radiant, and full of life again. Let's start with the most common one that can completely change how your grey looks, even if you think you're doing everything right. One of the biggest mistakes many women over 50 make is holding on to the same shampoo they used years ago. But grey hair changes everything. Once the pigment fades, the texture shifts too. It becomes a little drier, more porous, and often picks up unwanted yellow tones from the sun, water, or even styling products. Regular shampoos simply aren't made to handle that. That's why switching to a purple or silver shampoo makes such a big difference. These are specially formulated to cancel out brassy tones and bring back that clean, luminous grey that looks fresh instead of faded. When used the right way, your hair instantly looks brighter, shinier, and more polished. Just be gentle with it. Using it too often can leave your hair with a bluish tint or make it feel rough. 2 times a week is usually enough to maintain that perfect silver tone while keeping your hair soft and manageable. On other days, use a mild, sulfate-free shampoo that hydrates and protects your strands. Taking care of your color sets the foundation for everything else. Once your grey looks vibrant, the next focus should be texture, because dull, wiry strands can make even the healthiest grey look tired. With your color refreshed and glowing, the next step is making sure your grey hair feels silky and smooth, not dry or coarse. As we age, our hair naturally loses some of its pigment, and with that loss comes a change in texture. Grey hair often feels different. It's drier, coarser, and more fragile than it used to be. It doesn't hold moisture the same way, and when we skip deep conditioning, it starts to show. The strands can look frizzy, dull, and lifeless, which can unintentionally make you look older. Regular conditioning isn't always enough for grey hair. What it truly needs is deeper hydration to restore softness and shine. A rich, nourishing hair mask or leave-in conditioner once or twice a week can transform the way your hair looks and feels. Look for ingredients like argan oil, keratin, coconut oil, or shea butter. These are packed with nutrients that help smooth the cuticle and bring back that healthy glow grey hair often loses. When your hair feels softer, it's easier to style and naturally reflects more light. That smooth, luminous finish gives your grey a beautiful dimension that makes it look intentional and elegant rather than dry and unruly. Consistency is key here. Think of deep conditioning as your grey hair's weekly drink of water. The more you nourish it, the more it gives back in shine and manageability. Once your strands feel hydrated and smooth again, the next thing to look at is your haircut, because the shape of your hair can completely change how youthful your face appears. Even the healthiest, shiniest grey hair can lose its impact when paired with an outdated haircut. The wrong shape can make your face appear longer, heavier, or even tired, no matter how well you care for your hair. Many women over 50 stick with the same cut they've had for years because it feels familiar. But styles that once looked flattering might not suit the natural changes in your hair texture, density, or face shape anymore. Grey hair has its own personality. It tends to have more body and texture, which can make blunt or stiff cuts look bulky instead of sleek. The key is finding a modern shape that moves with you. A layered haircut softens harsh lines and adds natural volume where you need it most. Soft layers around the cheekbones or jawline can create a lifting effect, drawing attention upward and giving your face a more open, youthful look. You don't have to go for a dramatic chop to look modern. Even subtle adjustments like updating your bangs or adding face framing pieces can completely refresh your overall appearance. A good stylist who understands grey hair can tailor your cut to highlight your best features while keeping the maintenance low. The goal is movement and balance, not perfection. When your haircut has that natural flow, it works with your grey hair instead of against it, giving you a look that feels fresh and effortless. Once your haircut feels updated and flattering, the next thing to think about is tone, because the colour of your grey can completely change how your skin looks. Not all shades of grey have the same effect, and finding the right one for your skin tone can completely change how youthful and vibrant you look. When grey hair leans too ashy, it can drain the warmth from your face, leaving your complexion looking pale or dull. On the other hand, a tone that's too warm or yellowish can make your hair appear brassy and tired. The right balance is what keeps your grey hair looking intentional and flattering. It's worth taking the time to talk to a professional colorist who understands the nuances of grey hair. They can tone your hair to suit your natural undertones, whether that means adding a touch of silver for brightness, a hint of beige for softness, or a gentle violet hue to neutralize warmth. These small adjustments can completely transform how your skin looks next to your hair, giving you a healthier glow and a more youthful overall appearance. If you manage your grey at home, use toning shampoos and conditioners in moderation. Alternating between a purple shampoo and a hydrating one helps you maintain the perfect tone without drying your strands. Protect your hair from UV exposure as well, since sunlight can shift the tone of grey hair faster than you think. When your shade complements your skin instead of competing with it, everything looks more harmonious. Your eyes stand out, your skin appears brighter, and your features look more defined. Now that your tone works beautifully with your complexion, it's time to shift focus to something just as important. The next mistake doesn't start with your hair, it begins with your scalp. Many women over 50 focus on treating their grey hair but forget about where healthy hair truly begins, which is the scalp. As we age, the scalp produces less natural oil, which can lead to dryness, flaking, and irritation. When it's not properly cared for, this can also cause buildup from products and dead skin, making your hair appear dull and lifeless, no matter how much conditioner or serum you use. A healthy scalp is essential for strong, youthful-looking hair. When circulation slows down, hair growth can weaken, and strands may become thinner over time. Taking care of your scalp helps keep your follicles clear and active, which encourages thicker, shinier hair that grows in more evenly. A gentle scalp exfoliator or clarifying shampoo once a week can make a big difference. It removes residue from styling products, oils, and even pollution that can clog pores. Massage your scalp for a few minutes while cleansing to boost blood flow and nourish the roots. You can even use a few drops of lightweight oil like rosemary or jojoba to keep your scalp balanced and hydrated. Think of your scalp like the soil of a garden. When it's healthy, everything that grows from it looks better. Regular care not only helps your grey hair stay vibrant and strong, but also gives it a natural shine that no product can fake. Once your scalp feels refreshed and healthy, it's time to focus on the part that everyone notices first, which is the way you style your grey hair. Flat, limp hair can instantly make your features look heavier and more tired. When grey hair falls flat, it can exaggerate facial lines or pull your face downward instead of lifting it up. Volume, even in small amounts, has a softening effect that makes your face appear more open and youthful. As we get older, hair often becomes finer or loses some of its natural body due to hormonal changes. That's why it's important to give your roots a little help. Blow-drying your hair upside down is one of the simplest tricks to add lift without any extra tools. You can also apply a lightweight volumizing mousse or a root spray before styling. Focus on the crown area and sides to create that natural fullness that gives your hairstyle life and movement. Avoid heavy creams, oils, or products with silicone buildup, as they tend to weigh the hair down and make it look even flatter. For fine hair, less is more. If you prefer a round brush or hot rollers, use them strategically to shape and lift sections instead of curling the whole head. The goal is an effortless body, not stiffness. Once your hair has that healthy lift and movement, the next step is adding shine, because glossy, light-reflecting grey hair always looks more youthful and full of life. One of the biggest giveaways of aging hair is the loss of shine. Grey hair naturally reflects less light than pigmented hair because it has a coarser texture and fewer natural oils. Without that reflective surface, it can easily appear dull, even if it's clean and well-styled. The good news is that restoring shine isn't complicated, but it just takes the right care and a few smart products. Shiny hair instantly signals health and vitality. It brings life back to your grey strands and makes them look more polished and vibrant. After styling, apply a small amount of lightweight serum or gloss spray to your mid-lengths and ends. Products with ingredients like argan oil, camellia oil, or silk proteins can smooth the cuticle, reduce frizz, and help your hair catch the light in a flattering way. Be mindful not to overdo it. Heavy oils or thick serums can easily weigh your hair down and make it look greasy, especially if your hair is fine or thin. Always start with a pea-sized amount, then build up only if needed. Another tip is to finish your blow dry with a quick blast of cool air, and it helps seal the hair cuticle, giving it that natural, healthy sheen without extra product. Now that your hair has that radiant shine, let's move to something that might not seem related, but makes a big difference in how your grey hair stands out, like the colours you wear. When your hair turns grey, your natural colour palette shifts. What used to look flattering in your 40s might not complement your features the same way now. Grey hair introduces cooler tones around your face, which can change how your skin and eyes appear next to certain colours. If you continue wearing the same warm or muted shades you used to love, they might actually make you look pale or dull instead of vibrant. The secret is to adjust, not overhaul, your wardrobe. Cool-toned shades like navy, charcoal, emerald green, plum, and crisp white tend to harmonize beautifully with grey or silver hair. These colors bring out the brightness in your hair and add contrast that keeps your complexion looking alive and healthy. Jewel tones in particular are very flattering because they create depth and make your skin look more radiant. So, which of these mistakes do you think you've been making without realizing it? Take a moment to fix just one of them this week and see how much of a difference it makes. And if this video helped you see your grey hair in a new light, you'll definitely want to watch this next one.